Welcome back to the Middle Eastern Economy Class Smackdown. Last week, Qatar Airways entered the race with a strong performance on all fronts. Dan was impressed, but he wasn't blown away, so it seems there is room for a competitor to become frontrunner in this race. Today, Emirates takes the stage. Do they have what it takes to be number one? As one of the world's most aspirational airline brands, Emirates has a lot to prove, and passengers rightly have high expectations. Is the airline able to meet these expectations, or do they buckle under the financial pressure of the pandemic? Let's find out. Emirates. With every flight recently, they have surprised me, and today was no exception. My flight was on board their Boeing 777-300ER, this one in a more unusual layout without first class. Looking at the configuration, you can see there are a lot of seats to choose from. Where to sit? Unfortunately, Emirates doesn't have many special rows, that's to say rows with fewer seats across. So ideally, you'd get a seat in the back in one of the rows that has just 2 seats, but these cost extra until check-in opens, and it's really anyone's guess how many of them will still be available. Alternatively, you can do what I did, which is play a wild game of musical chairs in the 2 days prior to departure. The minute check-in opened, I was in the app and I logged on, no exaggeration, once an hour until check-in closed. I probably changed my seat about 10 times as more and more people checked in, but in the end, it was all worth it. I nervously committed to sitting in seat 30A, probably the 5th seat I'd chosen on this flight, and as the seat map became unavailable and check-in closed, all I could do was hope for the best, but it paid off. I was one of the only passengers to get an entire row to myself. Score! On that note, I had to move myself from one part of Europe to another part to even catch this flight. That morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. in Vilnius, Lithuania, where I was half amazed and half disturbed by how similar the airport looked to a train station. Anyway, I boarded the 6:30 a.m. flight with Lot Polish that took me down to Warsaw during this beautiful sunrise. Next up, I tried to get a day room to get some sleep while waiting for my next flight, and was royally scammed into paying a full night price at the Renaissance. But beggars can't be choosers, and when I settled into the bed, I knew I'd made the right decision by paying for that room anyway. After 3 hours of daytime half sleep, I showered, did a little bit of work, and ordered a smoothie for breakfast, which was delivered in this coffee pot in a quantity that I can only imagine was meant for a silverback gorilla. The price? $5. That's right, I'm looking at you, Joe and the Juice. As I prepared my stuff, I made sure I had everything I needed, including the latest update of NordVPN on my laptop and my phone. NordVPN takes privacy extremely seriously, so not only are they a vital part of my work toolkit when connecting to Wi-Fi at hotels or on planes, but they also help me travel in the Middle East where most services are blocked, including FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp calls, and more. NordVPN also unlocks content from all around the world, whether it's something you like to watch at home that isn't available when you're abroad, or if it's something that's only available in other countries. NordVPN is basically like a really fun dad. They want to shower you with fun and games, i.e. unlocking a world of new content, but deep down, their primary concern is your safety at all times. Well, Daddy Dan has partnered with NordVPN, who are of course sponsoring this video, to offer you the best VPN deal I can imagine. 73% off a 2-year plan plus 4 months for free. You can check it out at the link at the top of the description, or go to nordvpn.com/nonstopdan and give it a try with their 30-day money-back guarantee. So, this flight took place just 1 week after my flight with Qatar Airways to ensure the comparison was as accurate as possible. The 777-300ER is used by Emirates on routes of all lengths, and this is the most common aircraft in their fleet, so what you're about to see is really the most common Emirates experience. Now welcome on board. Boarding is incredibly efficient. My first impression was that Emirates knows how to nail first impressions. I've flown the Emirates 777 many times before, but it had been over 2 years at this point, and I'd forgotten how modern their cabins are.
Hi, how are you?
They have this sleek mood lighting along with the bright seat colors, which gives the cabin a feeling of airiness. I also love the contrast between the beige seats and the red hats worn by the crew. When you see the back side of the seats, that's when you're even more impressed. Emirates really has the biggest economy class screens I've seen, and the screen definition is crazy good. The screen is actually almost as big and sharp as a 13-inch MacBook. Yes, that big. Under the screen is a remote that functions as an additional screen and is equally responsive and high definition. How crazy. Not only that, but 2 of 3 seats also have power ports, and all seats have at least one USB charging port as well. If you want to make sure you get a power port, I recommend the window seats on the left side of the aircraft, like mine, 30A. Side note, I love the details that they write the seat numbers on the armrest. Looking closer at the seat, the tray table is space efficient and has a cup holder. Below it, the seat pocket has 2 separate sections to keep things separated and as organized as possible when you have 1 square meter of personal space on a long haul flight. The legroom is so-so. It's not bad, but it's also not great. When the seat reclines, the seat cushion moves forward, as you can see here. This does give you a greater degree of recline, but also makes your knee space worse, and unfortunately makes sleeping rather uncomfortable in this seat. Still, the range of sleeping comfort in economy class isn't that dramatic unless you have an extra legroom seat regardless of the airline, and an adjustable headrest like this will surely be as helpful as anything. It goes up and down and has strong support on the sides of your head. Speaking of sleep, there's a plastic wrapped pillow and blanket waiting at each seat. The blanket is plush and quite big, but the pillow isn't my favorite. Yes, it's fluffy, but the material feels sort of like sleeping against a plastic bag. But on the positive side, there are individual air vents that allow you to customize the temperature and airflow at your seat, which is very much appreciated. Besides that, looking at the rest of the cabin, the bulkhead has pictures of sand dunes, which I find to be quite calming, and the walls have this unique wavy color scheme, but the best feature comes out in the dark. More on that later. Now let's explore the entertainment system, ICE, a little more, shall we? ICE has been named the best entertainment system in the world for many years, and I have to agree. Not only is it smooth and intuitive to navigate, but they have so many fun niche categories. They also offer entire seasons of shows, which is so good. Can someone explain the logic to me when an airline offers 1 or 2 episodes from the middle of the 5th season of some random show? Like, why? What's the point? Emirates also has among the best in-flight maps I've ever seen, with cool views and features. There are also exterior cameras, which is rare on the 777, and you just gotta love them. If you're gonna watch something on the entertainment system, you need headphones, and luckily Emirates provides those. To my surprise, their claim that the headphones are noise cancelling is actually sort of true. The audio quality is good, and they fit comfortably. Of course, there's also Wi-Fi on board, and all Emirates Skywards members get free in-flight messaging, which is a great feature. Although I forgot about this and entered my JetBlue frequent flyer number for this flight, which meant I couldn't use this feature. The Wi-Fi prices were very reasonable though, but I was too busy to work because I was watching my newly found obsession from my previous Emirates flight, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm only 10 seasons and 21 years late to the party. Shortly before pushback, the crew came around distributing masks and hand sanitizer. They also gave out more masks before landing. Soon enough, we were departing for Dubai, and this is a good chance to quickly talk about the service. If I were to summarize the service on Emirates, it would be girls just want to have fun. The crew is super friendly and casual and offer to take pictures of me and other passengers, and they're always smiling and seemingly really enjoying their jobs. This crew was from 6 countries and spoke 6 languages, which is honestly pathetic compared to my recent A380 flight, which had 18 nationalities, but who am I kidding? 6 is still much more international than on almost any other airline. The majority of the crew, however, were Polish. One crew member addressed me in Polish and couldn't hear me behind my mask, but eventually realized I was speaking English and said, "Sorry, I feel like everyone on this flight is Polish. So, sorry guys, that's it. I'm gonna go now and make some pierogies in the back." Another interaction I had was at one point when I was trying to get past a crew member and she said, "Sorry, love." Again, casual but sweet. You know what else is sweet? Helping me hit 500,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. It takes a second, it's free, and it makes my day. After blasting out of Warsaw, the meal service began. Emirates has menus in economy class which look as follows. By the time they reached me, they only had chicken left, but that was no problem since I had pre-ordered a vegan meal. Now listen, how much do we love Emirates tableware? We love it, don't we? The food was not only beautiful, but it tasted great. The main dish was a tomato and pine nut gnocchi with spinach, accompanied by a cumin chickpea paprika salad and some fruit. While everyone else was indulging in champagne or sparkling wine, whichever it was, I had some delicious mango juice and Pepsi for a little bit of caffeine. But yeah, the food was good. Next stop after the meal, the lavatory. Luckily, it remained clean throughout most of the flight, presumably thanks to some cleaning by the crew. And check out how big it is. Business class size, baby! The next few hours I actually spent working while enjoying some snacks and drinks from the crew who passed through the cabin quite frequently. Before I knew it, the sun was setting and oh boy, what a beautiful sunset. Someone insert magical music here. At this point, the most special cabin design element became visible. The stars in the ceiling. I can't tell you how much I love this small and simple touch. It's just magical. That's really all I have to add to this review, so let me give my concluding thoughts. There's something magical about Emirates that I can't quite pinpoint. And yes, I know everything was magical and fun in this video, I heard it too. As I mentioned in my recent Emirates business class review, there really is a strong emphasis on fun. Whether through the truly enormous entertainment screens, yes, they're bigger than the screens in business class on many other airlines. I'm looking at you, Delta.
Oh my God! What is that?
The secondary screen on the remote, the stars in the ceiling, the young and laid back cabin crew, the pop music they play during boarding, and so much more. Not only are they fun, which makes economy class feel so much less draining, but the experience is also high quality. The catering is excellent, the entertainment selection is unmatched, the seat is pretty comfortable, and they have USB charging at every seat, along with 2 power ports per 3-seat row. The only real drawbacks are the slightly limited legroom, especially when reclined, and their hub in Dubai. Now there's something to be said about this being the worst experience that Emirates offers, since they only fly the A380 other than this. Well, unless you're watching this video in 2023, which is a different matter. If you can fly their A380, absolutely do it. Their economy class on that aircraft is fantastic. But when it comes to the 777, they deliver a strong experience as well. How does it compare to Qatar Airways and Turkish Airlines? Find out in 2 weeks when the ultimate Middle Eastern economy class smackdown reaches its finale. But first, Turkish Airlines is coming up in just a few days. A quick bonus word on Dubai Airport. Arrivals from Poland need to take a free PCR test on arrival and quarantine until they receive their results, which usually takes about 6 hours. The process was incredibly smooth, and although I had to walk several kilometers from the gate to reach the taxi stands outside, it's a long walk, I got to my hotel impressively fast in the end. All's well that ends well. All's well that ends well indeed. But how will Emirates end up ranking in comparison to their competitors? Next week, Turkish Airlines hits the stage and we are ready for some Turkish hospitality. This is an episode you don't want to miss. Oh my god, guys, I made it to Dubai. The lighting in here must be horrible. Made it to Dubai. It feels so good to be able to go to sleep. It's 11 p.m. So actually I made it to the hotel about, I guess, 70 minutes after landing with testing, with immigration, everything. So that's not bad. Let me show you. This is 150 dirhams for one night at the Premier Inn at the airport. It's amazing. Honestly, for this price, what a steal. Here's the bathroom. Ta-da! So that's my room.